Hello, how's it going, y'all? Um, doing the rundown. Well, it's not an official numbered rundown, but I wanted to do my stream today. There is some toy news I wanted to talk about, some McFarlane stuff. There was a lot of hot toys that were I don't do hot toys, but there was one in particular that was pretty cool looking, and I was excited about that. So there's some cool stuff on the horizon. I wish I had a laptop. What's up, CJ? Wish I had a laptop in here so I could pull stuff up. What's up, Virgo? How's it going? I was adding my screen. Hold on. Can I flip my camera? Hold on. I'm pretty sure I can flip it because it is flipped the wrong way. No mirror. There we go. Fix that. I just graffitied the front of this. I felt to the mood. I think it's an improvement. What's up, Kaiju, Virgo, and CJ? Hello, everyone. Just a low-key rowdy rundown in the toy room today. First thing I wanted to talk about was I saw that McFarlane announced another Kickstarter. And I don't know how I feel about that. You know what do you know what it is? I'm pretty sure it was real. Like I think that I saw this and it was real. But it was a Harley Quinn movie version Kickstarter. Todd is just going for broke with the McFarlane multiverse. I mean, I get it. I do get it. I'm using StreamYard to do this in the toy room because I thought I could use my like intro and all that stuff, but apparently because I'm not paying for StreamYard currently because I use OBS like a cool kid. They won't even let me use my clips, so I can't use like super chat clips or anything like that, which kind of sucks. But it's okay. Um, I just want to talk about toys today and do a little bit of graffiti art while I'm doing that. So I gotta grab something else. Check out Ross Stores, them bitches stacked. Red table time coming. Oh, are you gonna show us? Is Roughshot got a video pickups video today? Sorry, I don't mean to get in the camera. Not my intent today. But we're gonna do a little. I was gonna try and paint the Wolverine claws, the bone claws, but I don't feel like getting that intensive. But we can do some more graffiti today while we're sitting here. Make it. Now y'all see a little bit of my handwriting, which is kind of terrible. Can y'all see that? My Ross never gets anything. Yeah, every time I go to my Ross, the only thing they have is some McFarlane stuff. So like I never get anything when I go in there, and even when I do feel like getting something, like one time they had the Witcher stuff, I used my better judgment and I didn't get it. I was like, nah, I don't need that today. Here we go. Look at that. I feel like that's nice. I don't think that YouTube will be pushing this out to the algorithm like it does generally on vertical because I'm not going live directly from YouTube. So it's not putting my tags and all that stuff. So it's just giving my viewers notifications, which is good. That's what I want. I just want people here who want to relax and talk about toys. All right, so the McFarlane Kickstarter. Pretty sure it's real. I'm pretty sure it is for McFarlane DC Multiverse movie version. No, I'm not pretty sure. The thing that I saw was for a movie version of Harley Quinn. Um and of course it's a Kickstarter. So there's like, how are you gonna tier that? It had like a swappable jacket. What is going on, Spider fan? We're just chilling in the toy room today. Talk about some stuff, the world. Not anything too crazy. Just I saw some cool releases coming out, and also so I got hit. What's up, BQ King? How's it going? I got hit with actually, you know what I can do? I think on this, I can yeah I can pull up chats. It's a little not intuitive, but I can do it from StreamYard, so that's good. Um, So yeah, apparently McFarlane is doing another kickstart. Uh-oh. There we go. Is doing another kickstart, and it's a Margot Robbie Harley Quinn from the movies, which is much like the Batman versus Superman Batmobile. Too late. And it's also not the Harley Quinn that people were asking for from DC Multiverse. I'm pretty sure people want a comic book, like while this line is on its last leg and still producing figures, people want a comic book version of Harley Quinn. Because we had the Bruce Timm DC animated Batman the animated series look, and that was all the way back in wave 1 in 2019, and that was the only comic book adjacent Harley Quinn that we've gotten in through, not that we, because I don't buy that stuff anymore, but that he's made through that entire line. He's only made one Harley Quinn that could maybe pass as a comic version, even though it's not a comic version and doesn't really pass for a comic version. The rest have all been Margot Robbie. And the one that he's doing this Kickstarter for is from Suicide Squad. You know, the terrible movie with Jared Leto as Joker. Yeah, that one. The figure looks fine. It's a render. So let me know if someone has pulled this up or if I just got my leg pulled because I saw it and I didn't do my research like a dummy. But I don't think that Todd understands what people say when they want something. Like people wanted Zatanna for the longest time. What's up, Krusty? How's it going? So this isn't the Jada Scooby. This is actually my childhood one from Burger King. And also, I don't think I know you, and I've talked to you, and we follow each other, but I don't think I've had you on one of my streams before. So welcome, Krusty Old Crow. This is a Burger King Scooby Doo, and he's a little bit too small. But the way that I see it, I only have. I'm sure Shaggy feels the same about that. The only one I have is Shaggy, so it could be like Shaggy and Scooby before they met the Mystery Crew or Mystery Gang. Mystery Inc. is what it's called. Yeah, Mystery Inc. So he's a little bit younger, Scooby Doo. I was looking at the ones from Scoob. My God, have those blown up in price because there's demand for Scooby Doo figures. Um, I think that this members first. So I have this video done and edited. I think that the members first is going to go up next week because I did two. I did two members. Well, I did one this week, but I did it early. So because I wanted to get my Marvel vs. Capcom video out. So it was only members first for 2 days, but I had my Captain America one go up on Saturday, and then it went for everyone on Tuesday. And then I put my Wolverine one up on Wednesday or Tuesday because it came in on Tuesday, and it went out for everyone um yesterday, this morning. Yeah, I don't remember. It's been a long week. It's been a long week for sure. Lots of craziness. But at the same time, I'm just going to keep on trucking and doing my thing, making my content, pumping out the videos, keeping it all quality, working on other projects I've got going. Um, I'm starting to do research and gather clips and stuff for my Toy Biz Lord of the Rings video. So the next thing I got to do, and maybe I'll do it on live stream just because it's going to take forever and I'll be bored, is I got to take down every single one of my Toy Biz Lord of the Rings figures and clean off all the dust and shit off of them. And that's going to take like all day. So that'll be a lot of fun. Another thing that happened, so I got an email from Amazon and they're like payment declined because I never use um a card that has funds on it when it comes to pre-orders because I want to decide if I want that to charge and all that stuff. And Amazon hit me with and this is really interesting too as well. So I play Magic the Gathering. The Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set launches, is today the 9th? No, today's the 18th. It's supposed to launch tomorrow, which is Friday, correct? Yeah, it's supposed to launch tomorrow, but for like Thursday Night Magic, they're launching early, so that's coming out today, the Spider-Man Magic the Gathering set. Um, Lord of the Rings. Yeah, I'll talk about the figures. I'll take them off the shelf. I'll talk about the figures while I'm washing them and you know, and then I will actually do a whole video on Toy Biz Lord of the Rings and how it was like the start of my collecting habits as far and I know I was a kid when it happened and I hadn't collected for a while after I got those, but when that line was coming out, I wanted every single Toy Biz Lord of the Rings figure, and they were really good. Like for that time, they still hold up. They're good figures. The sculpts are great. The figures mostly look like the actors are based on, like the Carl Urban, Ian McKellen, Viggo Mortensen, Elijah Wood. The face sculpts are pretty dang good, especially for being from 2001 to like 2004, 2005. Forgot what I was talking about. Someone remind me what I was talking about, because I totally forgot. I get distracted easily. I smoke too much weed. I got it. So this is a 2 gram disposable, and I just cracked it like 2 days ago, and I picked up another one today so that when I run out of this one, I won't need to take money out of my paycheck to get it. I can put that towards it. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I was talking about Magic Gathering. Sorry, I lost my train of thought, but these things fucking slap. So Magic the Gathering, the Spider-Man set comes out tomorrow. And interestingly enough, Amazon just tried to ping me for $168. And I was like, what the fuck is this? And I looked, and it was all 4 Spider-Man Magic the Gathering figures. So it was the Man Wolf, Iron Spider, MJ. Yeah, Harley Kickstarter. That's what, no, we had already talked about it. I'm gonna lose track again. It was Iron Spider, MJ, Man Wolf, Battle Damage, Peter Parker, and Anti Venom. I think they hit me for all 4 of those, and I currently don't have $168 because I just got my Marvel vs. Capcom set and all the other stuff. So I'm gonna have to juggle that around, pick and choose 1 or 2 when I get paid next week, and then because I try not to use a bunch of money when I get paid. I try to pay my bills, put some away, have gas money, all that stuff. But yeah, so somehow the launch of those Spider-Man Magic the Gathering figures is coinciding with the launch of the Spider-Man Magic the Gathering release. I can't talk. So go figure. Go figure that, timing was impeccable. I feel like they did it on purpose. They're like, oh, these aren't going to come out until November. And then they push it forward. And next thing you know, Amazon's trying to charge you for fucking over $150 all at once. Which in another timeline would be fine. Everything would be hunky dory, and I'd be like, cool. Bunch of new figures, a bunch of new Magic the Gathering, fucking OP Magic the Gathering cards. And if you're a person that's wanting to get those figures and you decide that, oh, this Magic the Gathering card is trash, it's not trash. Find your local game store, bring it there. They'll give you like $2 to $5 for it, depending on who you ask, just because those, at least the art on those cards, I don't know if they have other printings of those cards in the actual Spider-Man set, but at least the art on those cards is exclusive to these Magic the Gathering Spider-Man figures. So, for people that like to be completionists, for people that play Magic like me, it is something that they would want to see. So, or not see, but get, because I think that Man Wolf card would make a great commander. I think that the Iron Spider MJ would actually be a great commander as well, because it's an artifact creature because of the suit. It's I don't want to get into the logistics of Magic the Gathering. I mean, we can totally do that at some point. Like when I get the Spider-Man set, because I have a bundle pre-ordered that's got like 7 boosters, I will probably live stream opening those and going through and doing pulls and talking about the cards and trying to build a deck live, probably, because that's fun. And I've built some nasty decks. And the thing about Spider-Man is, does it fit with Magic the Gathering? No. But as a Spider-Man fan, I still want it. So I'm a sucker. Hasbro knows what I like, and they will produce the shit out of it to make sure that people like me buy it. And by the way, so we're creeping ever closer to this. I just want to put a spotlight on it. We're getting ever closer to giving this away. We're almost at 3730. We're giving it away at 4K. So if by chance you're seeing this on the replay or it pops up on your stream and you're new here, go ahead and I guess Santa says no polar bears are endangered. Look at him wearing that fur like it's going out of style. Yeah, this is the Big Bad Toy Store Barbarian Santa. Um, I don't know why I had him up here. I was thinking of like, well, this I'm probably gonna do this when it snows. I'm gonna take the polar bear cape and helmet and try to put it on my Frazetta Conan, not helmet, but and put it on my Frazetta Conan when it snows and go outside and take some snow photography with Conan. I think that'd be cool. What's up? What's up, Joe? How's it going? Another new release that I saw that's really cool, and I also want to talk about the comic book series because the TV show is running right now, and as soon as it's up, as soon as Alien Earth is over, I'm canceling my Hulu subscription because of everything that's happening. Hulu and Disney Plus. I'm gonna watch Thunderbolts right after I finish that shit. I'm gonna get my money's worth, and then I'm just gonna move to Sailing the Seven Seas when it comes to the Disney releases because of everything going on right now. But I wanted to say that Alien Earth, if y'all haven't seen Alien Earth, I'm not saying watched on Hulu or Disney Plus at this point, but like, you know, yar mateys, that kind of thing. Find it, seek it out, watch it because Alien Earth is really freaking cool. Like, it's every episode I'm watching, I'm just enthralled by it. Like, I'm sitting there like, holy shit, what's gonna happen next? And it's crazy because a movie, you get 2.5 hours, an hour, 2 hours, whatever, and then it's over. But this is like the longest Alien movie ever because it's pretty quality. Like I know people were pretty down on the xenomorph suit and all that stuff, but you got to remember the first Alien movie. Every single shot of the xenomorph was a dude in a suit, and Alien Earth does rock hard. It is a really good show. Um, and I think that even in the open sunlight, like this last episode, no spoilers, I'm not gonna spoil anything, but you get to see a xenomorph out in the sunlight, which other than Alien Covenant, which had like kind of a gray wash to it anyway, I don't think we've ever seen an alien in a xenomorph in full sunlight. And I thought it looked pretty dang good. So I want to say, please, if you're at all an Alien fan, and it sucks that Disney owns everything that we love now because Disney's just like another mega corporation. They'll just fold to every little women stuff because they don't want to lose money. Um, so cancel your Hulu and Disney Plus memberships, obviously. But I'm gonna finish the show. The finale's on Tuesday, and then I'm gonna cancel them and save some money on my damn phone plan. I can watch other streaming services. I can, like I said, sail the seven seas for stuff that I want from there. And that's just probably where I'll go from that because screw Disney for doing that shit. I don't want to give them my money. It sucks that they own Marvel and Star Wars and all that other stuff. We'll come to that like road when we cross it, right? Um, but speaking of, like I said, Alien and Marvel, so Hot Toys just showed off their solicitations. And I'm in the toy room, I'm on my phone. So obviously I can't bring these pictures up, but feel free to not leave the stream. But if you're on a computer, go ahead and look up what I'm talking about so you can verify. Like, please, I want someone to go look up that McFarlane Harley Quinn Kickstarter to make sure I'm not crazy, make sure I didn't just get duped by someone's render. But Hot Toys teased Miles Morales from Alien versus Avengers. I am enjoying Alien Worth for what it is doing as well. Yeah, it's really cool. It's such a different vibe, and it's still got the horror, but it's got drama too. And Alien movies have always been go 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 go. You do have some character development, but the way that these characters had developed, I genuinely don't want any of them to get hurt. As far as like the good normal people, but this is Alien, so who are we kidding? Um, but Hot Toys teased their Miles Morales from Alien versus Avengers, which, by the way, I don't want to spoil it. I haven't even finished it yet, so I don't think I can spoil the whole thing. But I will explain where the suit comes from because I know people are like, "Huh, what the hell is that? Is this a made up thing?" No, it happens in the comic, so it's the first issue. So if you have Marvel Unlimited, if you go on one of those comic reading sites, much like Alien Earth, I would highly suggest you go check out Alien versus Avengers as well. Um, 6 series. That's yeah, it looks great. So in the ending of the first issue, a face hugger jumps on Spider-Man, which is Miles, and then all of a sudden you see the face hugger get like enveloped, enveloped. Is that how you say it? That word that way? Enveloped by the symbiote, and essentially it melds with the xenomorph face hugger to become like a symbiote xenomorph suit. So a face hugger xenomorph suit, and it's really freaking cool. Um, and the comic book series is really cool as well. They do have some errors, like so if you watch Prometheus, no, not Prometheus, but yeah, okay, we'll start with Prometheus. We're talking about Alien a lot this rundown, so be prepared for that pronunciation correct. Yeah, thank you, CJ. Um, so in Prometheus, you see the engineers who are these big built, almost translucent giants with no hair and just straight up black eyes, and those guys that are the progeniers. I'm using all these big words and I'm too stoned for that shit. They're the progenitors of life in the universe. Like a lot of different species, as far as humanoid species and other species, have their DNA. Is that the Moff X-185 Spider-Man? Yes, Spaded. I'm giving it away at 4K. So someone will win this when we hit 4K. So we're only like 270 away, something like that. Um, okay, so the engineers, they're the guys that created life in the alien universe. They created humanity. They had a hand in developing the xenomorphs. But in the and then in Alien Covenant, David's on this planet and it looks like it's a bunch of engineers. But those are not engineers. When he launches down the black goo weapon on them, those are not engineers. Those are another offshoot that the engineers probably created and abandoned and are gonna and probably don't give a crap about, because the engineers, even though they're like violent and crazy and super powerful, they hate humanity and what they created, because humans are so violent and destructive and all that stuff, destructive. So like the engineers, they fucking hate humans. That's why when David walked up to him and he ripped his head off. But in Alien Covenant, those engineer looking guys, they have ears. Their skin is not as translucent. They're not very what's up, Transformer Joe? This is the Big Bad Toy Store, Barbarian Santa. Um, so yeah, Covenant, David launches the black goo on another offshoot of the engineers. And then the Marvel versus or Aliens versus Avengers comic, they have a panel where an android is saying, these are the guys that creating, and it's those guys. And no, those are not the engineers. The engineers are highly advanced. They don't wear, robes made out of cloth and live in mud huts on a remote planet. They are highly advanced. They created the universe. So that was just a little bit of discrepancy. And I can forgive that, because I'm not going to say that every person writing for Marvel knows everything about what they're writing. They just kind of make it up as they go along. But other than that, someone's in for a good time with that one. One of my favorite figs in my collection. Yeah, I have it in the back there as well. My Moff X Spider-Man is back there. So hey, you can always enter to win the other one. The giveaway, I believe, is up on my channel for new subscribers. Like, it's the main video. But back to Transformer Joe's question. It's the Naughty or Nice Barbarian Santa. And he is a cool figure. Coolest version of Santa I've ever seen. I had him out because I was digging through my toys. I got these guys because we can talk about that too. Because Marvel Zombies is coming out at the end of the month. And so yeah, basically what I'm saying is go watch Alien Earth however you can. Not saying go subscribe to Disney Plus or Hulu to get it. Don't do that. But there's other ways to watch the show. But Marvel Zombies is coming out at the end of the month. And I'm pretty sure like the original Marvel Zombies comic was written by Robert Kirkman. Correct me if I'm wrong. So obviously it's super violent and gory. And not really Marvel's fair when it comes to what they want to do with their comic book heroes. Like Spider-Man, um, heck yeah, and a good synopsis of the alien stuff. And I'm trying 2 episodes in. And wow, yeah, exactly. Transformer Joe. It is such a good show. I love how they got into the cross colonization of aliens in the Marvel Universe alternate history. They nailed it. Yeah, the couple discrepancies, Krusty Old Crow, but yeah, they did a great job. I really dig the artwork as well in that comic. And Spider-Man versus Predator is also really cool. So is Wolverine versus Predator. I haven't read Black Panther versus Predator, but I will. And I think they're building up to a giant crossover at the end where in this universe where the xenomorphs and the predators are constantly visiting Earth and doing stuff. I think they're culminating because they're only like 4 issue miniseries or something like that, 4 to 5 issue miniseries. Um, but I'm pretty sure they're building towards something much like this new Disney-led Alien slash Predator universe, and I can say that because the Predator Badlands trailer has Weyland Yutani vehicles in it, so we know at some point it's in some way the Alien universe is trickling into the Predator universe again on screen. So that's really cool. But back to Marvel Zombies. So Robert Kirkman did the initial run. They've done a couple of sequel series, and it's really gory. It's really violent. Spider-Man, he becomes a zombie. He eats MJ and Aunt May, and there's an issue where Sandman had been dealing with like zombie Spider-Man and other zombies, and it's I don't think it is it Marvel Zombies that this happens in, but it's kind of it's kind of a weird panel to look at because Sandman, and this is the real Spider-Man he does this to, and not the zombie Spider-Man because he's just traumatized and thinks it's him, and he just runs down Spider-Man's throat and explodes him from the stomach. So that's the kind of gore and stuff you get in Marvel Zombie stuff. But the TV show that's coming out, it's got the What If animation, but it's TVMA. So like it's gonna be gory. We're gonna see blood and guts, and also they're debuting Blade in Marvel Zombies. Moon Knight may show up. I just think they should bring in all the supernatural characters for that shit. You know, why not? So that's just and that's unfortunately on Disney Plus. So I'm not gonna be able to watch the whole series because like I said, after Alien Earth is over, I'm gonna cancel that shit. And then I won't be paying for it. I guess I'll have the rest of the month, and then I'll have to catch the other half of Marvel Zombies on like a website or something. But I am looking forward to that show a lot. I think it'll be fun. I think we need more Marvel Zombies figures. Like I'm trying to think of what I'm gonna do for my Halloween special this year. And I think because I haven't done a video on these guys and because Marvel Zombies is gonna be relevant, I'm just gonna do like a Marvel Zombies video and talk about these figures. Not so much like do articulation because they're not new, but just like talk about Marvel Zombies as a whole. Like I'll probably read some of the issues. It's not my favorite thing. Don't get me wrong. Marvel Zombies is very gross. It's very not fun to see your favorite heroes as I mean sometimes it's fun to see them as zombies, but sometimes it's not. Like I'm pretty sure um the first issue starts with Magneto being like one of the last people left, and he gets bit, and it just goes from there. I don't know. I've read like the first issue a long time ago. When it came out, it was like when Hot Topic was booming and zombies were big. It was around the start of The Walking Dead, probably, maybe a little bit after. Because obviously Robert Kirkman's zombie thing is The Walking Dead. That's what he's known for. But I think that Marvel Zombies will be fun. I do like the animation style that Marvel Studios has been going with for their animated shows. So yeah, I don't know. I think that this year has been great for content and movies and shows and stuff. Like we've seen a lot of really cool stuff, a lot of really cool crossovers and some good stuff. And then you get back to the real world and everything's shit and falling apart and just not fucking great. So, distractions, that's what it's all about. Um And yeah, I don't know. Like I said, this is just me chilling in the toy room. Usually it goes pretty well, but I'm trying to think of other releases that are out. I know. Oh, I know what I could talk about. So y'all remember when Hasbro teased their police officer GI Joes, right? Like we had they've done a firefighter. Um, I'm assuming they're gonna do paramedics at some point, but they have the police officer, and they canceled the pre-orders. They had announced it was going up for pre-order a couple months ago, like months ago. And then I don't even think it was about the national thing going on, like, protests and police brutality and all that stuff, which is obviously always present and always happening. But I think like something had happened in Rhode Island specifically that made Hasbro just be like, all right, we're not going to put these up for pre-order right now. We're just going to hold on to them. So today pre-orders started popping up on Big Bad Toy Store and Entertainment Earth. I don't think they were on Amazon. And if they didn't show up on Amazon, I wouldn't expect Amazon to be putting up pre-orders for them, period. Like they may just show up in stock from like third-party sellers, or Amazon may just start selling them when they show up in stock. But I didn't see any pre-orders on Amazon. But I did put a pre-order in for two of them because I want to use them for action figure photography for obvious reasons. I wrote that on there. So, you know, I think that's also, I've got my diorama. I've got this whole setup. So I put a couple of cops in there and a couple of firefighters, couple of paramedics and all that stuff when they do make paramedics, because I'm sure they will. And I do like that they're doing that stuff. I think it's cool for world building. I think it's cool for photography. Um, yeah, I don't know. So those popped up. I think they sold out on Big Bad Toy Store. I think they're still up on Entertainment Earth. So that was something a lot of people were waiting for. They're like, oh, when are we gonna get to pre-order our police officer figures? And it's the funny thing is there's this toy company called Figures Toy Company that does like wrestling referees and like security guards, and they've started making like civilians, like kids and ladies and like overweight dudes for like background pictures and photography. And they actually made police officers as well, and they launched a SWAT accessory kit for it. So someone already beat Hasbro to the punch with that. They're obviously a little more stylized. They're not in a realistic style. They're kind of cartoony looking, but has they beat Hasbro to the punch. I'm sure people picked a couple of those up for like 20, $25. I don't know what they cost, and picked up the SWAT pack and started doing photography. So I think that's cool. Like obviously y'all know how I feel about the world in general and everything happening. I just wrote that on there. FDT. I have a dumpster from Figure Toy Co. They do cool stuff. See, y'all have some experience with it. I have a dumpster that me and my girlfriend printed and made. Oh, I can't zoom on StreamYard. That's unfortunate. I got my Romanky Gun Girl sitting on top of right now. Um, but yeah, there's the thing is if Hasbro doesn't do something and it's up for grabs for anybody to do, someone's gonna beat him to the punch. And it just so happens that Figure Toy Co. You know what else Figure Toy Co. made? And I don't know how I feel about it. I don't know how I feel about it. Because their description of the figure was pretty like written like a fan would write it, but it could be satire. But they made a Trump figure that looks like Donald Trump, and I would want that. What's up, Max? I would want that, but not because I like him, but because I want to do toy photography with like him and this guy here and Indiana Jones here. No, not here, but I have the Mezco Indiana Jones, and I would want it for that. So, like I said, I don't know how to feel about them making a figure of that man. But at the same time, art is protest, right? And my art is toy photography and toy videos and stuff like that. So if that's how you can do it, that's how you can do it. Also, Max, I always have that little Joy Toy figure reachable in hand or on hand. So I always have him around. I need to start throwing him in comparison videos. Just be like, here he is with a 1/12 scale child. Just kidding. But um, this is my son. Never speak to me or my son ever again. Ever again. I don't know what to do with this guy anymore. This is the CT Toys Wolverine. This guy was on my Marvel vs. Capcom shelf for the time being until he got replaced. Stanley watches over me. A better protest would be to choose not to do the art intended, but something else. I don't know what that means, Jeff. Also, hello. I'm confused by that. But yeah, we got Wolverine, CT Toys Wolverine, and I think that the scale on this guy is much better as far as the height. But God, like this Wolverine is too big. I'll say it. Somebody commented on my Wolverine video. They're like, why you keep stop complaining? It's a Gamerverse version. It's just a figure." And I'm like, I'm not really complaining. I'm just pointing out the fact that this Wolverine is humongous, absolutely humongous, and it's a valid. It's not even a criticism. It's just incorrect. Like, I understand the Marvel vs. Capcom sprite is bigger, slightly taller, but he's not this big. He's not almost like he should be down to the star. Like this guy's even slight. Wolverine's 5'3". They're like, stop complaining. I'm like, you don't have to watch the video. You can just be like, oh, I don't like what she's saying, and you can turn it off. And that applies for a lot of stuff. That applies for like almost everything. You don't like something, you can just fucking turn it off. And you don't have to say, I mean, you can. It's a free country, but I'm just saying, like, you don't. Well, it's a free country for now. You don't have to just say, oh man, you should stop complaining about the figure. I'm making the video. This is my opinion on the figure. So if I'm giving my opinion, I'm going to tell you how I feel about it. You may disagree, but you know what you can do when you disagree about it? You can go and make your own Wolverine Silver Samurai 2-pack video and say, I think that his height is perfect. And I think I like it a lot. In no world should comic Wolverine stand shoulder to shoulder with Cap. I know this. But it's not a game breaker for me as far as the figure, because like all my Marvel vs. Capcom stuff is slightly oversized. Like I'm using Renew Your Vows Spider-Man. And the new Cap is just like a hair and a smidge taller because they gave him new boots. It's the same legs as the Secret Wars, but they gave him a new sculpt of boots. It's kind of like a less creased sculpt. It's got fuck it. I'm gonna grab him. Hey, I didn't knock nobody over. Like, right? Those are different. Those boots are different. And I was watching Robo's. I don't watch people's videos until after I've done it. I was watching Robo's video and he didn't mention that the boots were different, but they are. So that's where the height difference comes. Like he's ever so slightly taller. And people are like, oh, they're the same height. And me being the stickler for scale, that's just the kind of shit I pay attention to. So you can see he's just ever so slightly taller, which means that the height difference of Wolverine is a little less bad, but it's still, this is like a 5'8", 5'9" Wolverine. Wolverine's 5'3". I feel like the torso is fine, but the legs should be shorter and he'd be perfect. Yeah, because all right, don't get me wrong. Like I said, this is not a bad figure. This is the best articulated Marvel Legends that we've ever gotten. There's no ab crunch. There's a ball peg, and there's actually room for that ball peg on the upper and lower torso to go down fully. He can fully go forward. Not as far back, but the Wolverine doesn't really need to matrix dodge, I don't think. Did McFarlane make that Logan? He's closer to 7-inch scale. He he is pretty much a 7-inch scale Wolverine. To that point, the legs should be shorter. Yes. And the one thing that sucks is you can't swap the legs from any other Wolverine because he's a thick boy. Here, god damn it, y'all making me grab shit from my shelves. It's your fault. It's not my fault. It's your fault. Hey, Leia, welcome. You see the size difference on those thighs? The boots, it's fine, but you can't. He would look like he skips leg day every freaking day. So you can't really do anything. And you can't swap the boots either because there's no boot swivel on this new Wolverine. So it makes it a little difficult. But if you've watched my video, you know I like this Wolverine. I've been playing with him nonstop. I've taken a lot of photos of him. It's probably one of the best Marvel Legends that they've ever released. It's just like any Marvel Legends, it's got a couple of problems. The main being too big. And whoever you are, random commenter that said to stop complaining about it, no. I'm going to talk about it until the end of the year when I do my Marvel Legends and my top 10 figures of the year, because I'm going to do those again. No boot swivel. Isn't it more work to have one? You would think because, well, actually, no. I think the boot is cast separately. It looks like it's glued on there. I don't know. I don't know why they didn't give him a boot swivel. And it's not like it makes a huge difference, but at the same time, it kind of does. Like you do need a boot swivel for Wolverine. This dude gets down, you know, he gets crouched in real good like that. And that's when the height doesn't really matter, when he's crouched down like this, because that's how I have him displayed anyway. But it's still, to me, a big honking chunk of plastic. Isn't the Wolverine constantly hunched until he starts to walk forward? Yeah, he is. He's always hunched over. And then when he starts to walk, he gets up, you know, to his full height, which the sprite is very bulky, like very wide. He's a wide load. But when he stands up, the sprite still only comes up to about the top of Captain America's star, which is still too tall. But, you know, that's shorter. But this Wolverine comes up to his shoulders, which, if Wolverine's known for anything, it's being short and short-tempered. You know, that's what he's known for. And I know Hugh Jackman kind of like changed that image for people, or was that was their first, you know, he's like even up to his neck. That was people's first impression of Wolverine on like a popular level. So people don't, but it was really funny in Deadpool and Wolverine where they did the comic accurate Wolverine, and he was just absolutely tiny. And CJ, he's shorter than that in the game, but he is bulky. I'm on my phone, so I can't pull anything up. I'm sorry. I apologize. But don't get me wrong. Like I said, fantastic figure. Love this figure. It's the best. It's the best Wolverine that we've ever gotten from Marvel Legends, despite its one glaring issue. And then another thing that is, where is he? Where did I put him? Oh, he's over here. Okay. Another problem that I have with the Gamerverse stuff. Hugh Jackman has irreparably changed Wolverine in the public eye. Short King's not invited to the hero movie table. Well, if they get Taron Egerton to do Wolverine, which I think would be a good casting, they could bring the Short King back, because he's not 5'3", but he's like 5'7", 5'8", and you know. So this is the shield that came with the Gamerverse Captain America. Where did I put him? He's right in front of me. What's wrong with me? This is a shield that came with this Captain America right here. Notice the difference in size. It is very small. This is Ultimate Wolverine shield. Wolverine Ultimate Captain America shield that this one is holding. That is the same size as the 20th anniversary one. Just with the peg holes filled in and in darker colors. So they did a step back with this Gamerverse shield. I was really hoping that we would get the normal size shield, the full size shield. And it may be smaller Marvel vs. Capcom, and why they went, and that's why they went that way with it. And then the energy effect fits over it, and maybe they wanted to save some more money on plastic that way. He's a small, smelly, hairy man, and I love him. Yeah, no one really talks about that. Apparently, Wolverine has not like a stench, not like he smells bad, but he's musky. He's got that Wolverine musk. Um, Edgerton is too pretty. Stop trying to make Logan sexy. They can beat him up a little bit. They can put some facial hair on him, and he was great as Elton John. But the shield is so small. This is the old shield. They did it. You see, it's got the stupid, and this, they gotta move away from this. This thing. So you know how Power Princess is like $80 fucking dollars? Well, her shield broke. I know they reissued her. I got her loose for like $60, I believe. So it wasn't too big of a, I mean, still way more than she should have cost. But the shield is broken, and that's because it's such a bad system. If they wanted to do that, they should have made the clip. I don't know how they should have done it better. But Max, I'm hoping the Maximum Wolverine is on this body but shrunk down. Like I hope they shrink down the mold by like 2%, not even 2%. I don't know how much they have to shrink it down, but by just like a percentage to get it to actual Wolverine height. Because this is the best, other than the no boot swivel and the no drop down hips. Which I don't really think Wolverine's a character that needs drop down hips. He can still kick pretty well. But I'm hoping they would just shrink this mold down. Like, I know that's possible. I know they can do that. They just have to fill in the gaps of like distortion and kind of, fix it up, make it perfect and get it down. Or they could just copy this, resculpt it, and just make it shorter, You want to make a character pretty, use Cyclops. Scott Eastwood, do it Hollywood. Yeah, but nobody likes Cyclops. That's the thing about Cyclops. He's kind of a dick. He's kind of a dick. That's like his whole thing. That being said, I don't know what Scott Eastwood looks like, but if he looks like his dad, then he'd be pretty. I mean, I know Cyclops is like conventionally attractive. He's got the nice hair. He's tall and muscular, but like skinny. He's like, they call him slim. So, well, Logan calls him slim. You're just jealous of all his Boy Scout medals. Scott don't have no Boy Scout medals. Scott literally tried to. Scott has a checkered past. I'll tell you what. People think Magneto's a villain. Cyclops has done some fucked up shit, man. Avengers versus X-Men. He started a whole war essentially. I mean, was it valid? I don't remember because it was a long time ago. But Scott Eastwood is like a prettier, beefier version of his dad. Objectively handsome man. Nobody likes Cyclops, but he is the shit. I'm waiting for, so I pre-ordered that Miss Marvel and classic Cyclops one so I can put this Cyclops on my Marvel vs. Capcom shelf and have the Secret Wars looking Cyclops as my main Cyclops. Because as a 90s kid, yes, I do like the Jim Lee X-Men looks. Like, look how tall he is. Like, he's next to Scott, even. Like, oh boy. But at the same time, I really like the look of Cyclops with the cowl and the no weird bandolier that he has for no reason. Like, why does he have this? What is the point of that? Do you have snacks in there, Scott? Are you holding some snacks in all your pouches from the 90s? Have you ever seen Cyclops pull anything out of those pouches? I don't think so. Um, but yeah, I just think that Hasbro has done a really good job with the Marvel versus Capcom line, with some, you know, obvious missteps here or there, because they're a domestic toy company. They make mass produced toys so that a lot of people can get them. And with such mass production comes errors and oversights and mistakes, like Wolverine being too big. But that was intentional. There's no way that they made the Maximum Spider-Man the perfect height and then went back and made Wolverine too big without doing it intentionally. He's a diabetic and stores insulin supplies in there. That'd be funny. He's like, hold on, let me check my levels. Brotherhood of Evil Mutants, chill. I may have to take my insulin shot. And they're like, all right, Cyclops Slim has to take his shot. The straps are like suspenders, hold up his yellow trunks. But why does he have the yellow trunks? Why even have those? I mean, I get it. It's the classic superhero look. I do really like the astonishing Cyclops suit, but I got rid of my astonishing Wolverine and astonishing Cyclops because I was like, these Silver Samurai, why would you fall over like that? Um the astonishing figures weren't even on my shelf. I had no room for an astonishing X-Men display, so there was really no point to me to get them. And I know they just announced Astonishing Beast, but it's just easier for me to save money because I don't really want that Astonishing Beast. I want an update on the beast that we have with pinless joints and better articulation and drop down hips and all that stuff. This 3 DC Multiverse figures I want today are sold out on BBTS and nowhere on Amazon. What are they, BQ King? I know he just announced a bunch the last couple days, and no one has verified if I'm crazy or not with that Harley Quinn Kickstarter. Let me, someone please. So I'm going for 8 more minutes. I've made it almost an hour with my random little toy room rundown with no pictures, but still stuff to talk about. Um, but I can't pull it up because I'm on my phone. So if anyone can pull up that McFarlane Harley Quinn and verify it for me, that would be lovely. That would be lovely. I know they announced a couple of Batgirls. Um, they announced a guy from the Justice Society, Batgirl, Scarecrow, and Riddler. Yeah, I did see those. Um, isn't it funny that he had all this time to make these figures that people wanted, like all these villains, all these heroes, all these off the wall characters. And when he lost the license, that's when he decided, oh, Todd McFarlane here, I'm gonna start making toys that everybody wants. And I'm gonna start charging way more because I gotta make my money back for all the old molds that I made of Batman. And Todd, that's exactly why you don't have the license anymore. What's up, Ronnie? How's it going? Welcome. We're about to wrap up here in about 7 minutes, but welcome anyway. You can always catch the replay. We're just talking. We're just talking. I didn't want to get all on camera, and I did take a shower because I immediately passed out after I got home from work, and I was like, do I want to put on makeup? Do I want to put on an actual outfit instead of comfortable tank tops and booty shorts? Probably not. So I just did not get my face on stream. So next week, what is next week? I think next week we're going to have a special show. I think we're going to have a guest on here. I'm pretty sure that's next week. And then that Saturday, yeah, next week. So next week I'm doing a double feature show with a very special guest, and that will be announced next week, not this week. We're going to break down the logistics and hammer it down, and we're going to lock that down. And then they will be on my show here on Thursday, a guest. I wonder who that could be. Max. um and then we're going to go over to their channel and hop on their show, a special version of their show. So we'll have a double feature. You'll get a double dose of Rowdy Riles that day. And then on Saturday, I guess we'll make the announcement here. So I am doing a new live stream every other Saturday to the best of my ability. When I do a members only stream, the next week will be this stream. And this stream that's coming up is going to be called the Rascal Roundup. And that's because I'm openly inviting people to message me and ask for a link when it goes up because I would like to have 5 or 6 people. I don't know if I can get that many. I will have to work out. I'll have to pay for StreamYard at that point to get my intro and all that stuff because I still haven't worked out having guests on OBS. But it's gonna be. I have some people that I've already asked if they want to come on, and I'll just send them a link, and it's a hop in, hop out type of thing. But it's not going to be an open mic. It's not going to be. Yeah, the 25th is going to be the day, which is, I believe, next week, right? Next Thursday, 17th, 18th. I don't know. I'm not good at math. Other people are good at math. But so if you're at all interested in that, StreamYard are ripoff merchants. They are. That's why I've been slowly focusing or moving all my shit over to OBS, which works a lot better in my opinion, and it looks a lot better, mostly because it's processed through your PC and not through a browser, and I can do gaming on that, which I will get back to. It's just there's been a lot of shit going on. In the real world, in the internet side of the real world, and just in general, there's been a lot of shit going on. So things are hectic, but like I said, I'm going to be doing another live stream that is going to have multiple people. It's not going to be one-on-one, it's not going to be one-on-two. It's going to be like 4, 5, 6 different people on screen at once. We're all going to take our turns. Obviously, we're not going to be talking over each other, but it's a lot of people that y'all haven't seen or interacted with before. I'm trying to help good people spread their content and just keep everything more like-minded and copacetic with the vibe of my channel. And you know, I just want to listen, people that were subscribed to me and didn't watch my content regularly and all that shit. I felt like they didn't actually know who I am and how I feel about things and like, we all say things we shouldn't say and all that stuff, but I'm pretty forward about how I feel about, everything in general, toys aside, politics and all that stuff. It comes up, I talk about it. So, I am what you would call a leftist. Some people will use that as a whatever term, but like I lean left when it comes to a lot of things. So, that's the vibe here on Rowdy Rascal's channel. I don't talk about it all the time, or Rowdy Rascal's channel. I don't talk about it all the time, but it's there and it's present. And if you didn't know about that about me and it doesn't vibe with you, then the unsubscribe button is right there. The thing about subscribers is they come and they go. And that's totally fine. I've heard this multiple times, but everyone in certain corners of the toy tube space is like fighting over the same 200 subscribers, and like half of those subscribers are shitty people. And yeah, it's one thing to disagree with someone, it's another thing to attack someone. And we don't do that over at this channel. I don't bring that shit up. If somebody's lying about me, obviously I'm going to call it out and I'm going to tell y'all, hey, go report this stuff. And obviously if someone's threatening me or someone I care about, the same thing. So if you see, not just myself, but if you see someone threatening another creator, if you see someone bad mouthing a creator, um, not about what they say, but about who they are or other things like that, just report it. Don't reply to them. Don't say shit to them. Just report it and let the world keep spinning because it's fucked up. It's not okay to threaten people over their words. The first, and we're getting a little real at the end of the stream, but the First Amendment is the thing, despite what many like to think. And everyone has their opinions. You're free to disagree with it. You're free to very much disagree with it. You're free to unfollow, unsubscribe, but what you can't do is threaten somebody, especially if it's not something you can back up. I'm just saying. There's about 200 of us, and all the others are from paid promotions. Uh, you know, I I'd like to think that there's a lot more people that just sit back and watch and just enjoy their content and don't, obviously, like I said, you can unsubscribe, just like that comment on the video. Why are you complaining? You can stop watching my video at any time. No one is forcing you to sit there and watch it. No one's forcing you to scroll through my Instagram post or my story. No one is forcing you to do any of that shit. You are doing that yourself. And how you respond to it speaks more to you than it does about me. That's all I'm going to say about that. So, just some real. Fine. I'll send the baseball bat Max. Oh, Max. I know that you would go scorched earth for any of your friends, and that's the thing I appreciate about you. Um and that's your right to do so. I continually will support you in everything that you do because you're a good person. And that's what matters to me. Even if I disagree with someone, I can still see them as a good person. Even if I and there's certain things that if I disagree with you, you're not we're not going to get along, and we're not going to be able to get past that, and that's also fine. But the last thing that comes to is we're all fighting the wrong people when it comes to shit like that. If you're fighting with your next door neighbor, or you're someone who you know personally over what's happening and all that shit, you're fighting with the wrong people. The people in power are the people that made this situation the way it is. They're the people that created this environment. Without the backing and ability of other powerful people, we would not be where we are. So it's just focus your energy where it needs to be, which is on the real problems, which is at the top. It's not here on the street. It's not at the bottom. It's not between you and your neighbor. It's not between you and another channel, unless you make it that way. And if you do that, you're no better than the other people doing the same thing. You're no better than the people just you're stooping to a level that you shouldn't go to, and that's why I don't do that. That's why I don't jump out and respond to dumb shit. I just hide people from my channel because you know what, I don't give a shit what your opinion of me is. I don't, because first and foremost, I'm here to have fun talking about toys, and that's what I like to do. Mainly I throw in a little spicy real life stuff every once in a while. Sometimes it may not be something that people want to hear or they want to agree with, and that's fine. And I don't have a problem with someone unsubscribing to me. I really don't care, truly. Uh Dude goes and sees the royal family, and all he's got to say is, "You're very beautiful, Kate." See, and the funny thing is that the parliament is planning on announcing that they support Palestine as a state, but they're doing it after he leaves. They're waiting until tomorrow, I believe, because they don't want that to dominate the narrative while he's there and him just, do his thing. So, free Palestine, all that good stuff. Um, and yeah, we made it to an hour. I know I got a little real there at the end, but it's just a general PSA. I'm not pointing out anyone in general. I'm not pointing fingers at anyone. Everyone is free to their opinions. Everyone is free to their um to have their views and their thoughts, and at least for now, um that's what this country is founded on. And I know that doesn't matter to some people, like the things that the Constitution says don't matter to some people, and that's horrifying to me. That's the most horrifying thing to me, is that the documents that this country is founded on, that we the people have brought our own minds and hearts into when it comes to legislation, because we vote for the people that pass the laws. We vote for the people that pass the amendments that write the laws. And when any of that is ignored from the will of the people, it's a big problem. I'm moving to Australia so I can get my Joes faster. Fast Joes and no guns, Max. That sounds like a utopia to me. With all the other problems aside, like just those two, faster figures in general. I saw how fast y'all got the Psylocke 2-pack. So, all right, I'm gonna shut up now. I know some other people are going live. Maybe another person in the chat pretty soon, actually. So, right, Max, you're going. Let's plug Max here. So Max and I are going to be doing that stream. He's my special guest, and I'm going to be going on his channel on the 25th. I think that's next week. I'm not sure because I'm an idiot. But I think Max is going live at 7 o'clock my time, Max. So in like half an hour, right? I'm not sure. So before I go, let people know in the chat when you're going live so they can hop on over there. Oh shit, I guess I should go turn on my equipment. Yeah, see, Max is about to go live, so you don't want to miss that, y'all. I'm gonna hop off here. Thank you for hanging out. It's a little chill, little mellow stream in the toy room. I didn't have to do a lot of work, but now I have to put these figures back on the shelf, so that's what I'm gonna do. All right. With all of that being said, keep your head up, stay brave, be kind to your local LGBTQ community. If you're protesting, be safe. I love y'all. I will see you next time. And bye bye.